Hi, and welcome everyone to the Creative Cast. My name is Lucas Hamann, and for this week's episode, we are joined by Andreas Blidberg, joining all the way from Sweden. And I'm very happy to have you here. Welcome to the show, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas. Very glad to be here.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
It's funny actually, the story how we got to meet each other, because it was like quite a long time ago, and like we met in like a small city in the south of Spain. Like
yeah, that's a story.
I was still in high school, and Jesus, like I was at least like 7 or 8 years ago, easy.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
like,
that was quite random.
Yeah, and you came and you actually came to my school, and that's how we connected, and we stayed connected like on Facebook since then. And now somehow this podcast thing, kind of I don't know, helped us to actually get reconnected. Like
yes. Sometimes the randomness is the key to.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what's coming around and how it's going to end up. So I'm very happy that we kept that connection. I've learned that you are a finance student, and now you're applying to do your master's degree there in Sweden. And I would love to hear all about that. And let's get started to getting to know you better. So feel free to share with us a bit of your background story and how you ended up in the finance sector.
Oh, yeah. So that's quite a broad topic, but I will try to keep it short. First of all, I'm 23 years old, and I just finished my bachelor's degree in finance. It was finance brokerage, so that's kind of investment banking and stock brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
But my background is I was born like in the countryside in Sweden,
mm-hmm.
With like middle class family, hardworking. So I wasn't like that. They are not academians, my parents, and they are not like in the finance sector at all.
Okay.
So that's kind of my own thing that I found.
You just happen to have that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the first thing when I came to like high school and I applied to high school, I was completely wrong with like what subject I chose. And it was actually like transportation and like car mechanics and stuff. So I was never like comfortable with the situation, but I always thought like I can do it later in university and like go the direction that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But actually later I just said that would not be the thing to go. So I actually changed the high school direction to economics.
Mm-hmm.
And from there it is that I've just been in the finance sector, and it's been like 6 years now that I've been just totally finance. So
all right,
it's getting to be a few years now. So
so how has been your experience so far with it?
Yeah, so far, like I can imagine with like many topics, when you start to learn something about a topic, then you will learn how much you don't know. You think it's quite an easy topic maybe, but as you get deeper and deeper, there will always be like more things to learn. And like in finance, there's like unlimited things to discover. So you will never get fully learned. But that's still a challenge. So I'm kind of like, I'm driven by that. I like that.
That generally applies like pretty much every topic I've involved myself with or I've went deeper on. you just realize the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know about that topic. But it does really apply to everything.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, like, because before you just didn't know, and
really.
now you kind of get a glance of what's out there, and you feel so overwhelmed, right?
Do the things that is in front of you, and just
there you go,
one step at a time.
Okay, so how about talking about your specialization and your plans for what you're actually going for right now?
In like finance brokerage, which is like I want to work with either like investment banking with the merger and acquisitions. So I want to help like companies to for say if you do a company with the creative cost and you want to like retire or something, so you want to sell the podcast, then I will be there to help you like get the shares sold, and not just like get the maximum amount of money for the shares, but still like you want to sell to a good person who will take care of the podcast.
Okay.
And like all the things around that.
Okay, interesting.
So that's kind of the direction that I'm going for.
Okay. So yeah, kind of like okay, but it's like specifically about the financial trajectory of it.
Yeah, if you look at like a real estate broker, it's like the same thing, but with a company instead of a property.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so the master degree would be within that. Where your connection is a bit slow right now.
That's actually with one in with like
sorry,
beginning years.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Could you repeat that? Just the connection just went off for a second there.
Oh yeah. So that's the investment banking part is like the thing that I want to do, like after school, the few years. But then I want to go more to like asset management and those kind of things.
Yeah,
but the thing is with those jobs is that you cannot do it without experience. So nobody will trust you to.
Yeah, it reminds me like
manage.
I go back to what we were talking about before we hit record, and it's about your trip to Switzerland. You just recently did, and looking out for a place, where to work in future. And you said as well, getting the contacts and
I'm sorry. Now the connection.
Yeah, man, the internet is always rough on me. I don't know why. No, I was talking about.
We're doing it step by step.
About Switzerland and your week there, and how for you that is a way of looking out for interesting places you might work at and get experience, and as well as networking and getting those contacts down as well. Why might Switzerland be an interesting spot for you?
Well, like Switzerland, especially like the two cities that that I feel that is a good place to work with is it's Bern and Zurich. So those are the two cities, and for like the city specific things is that they are. I really like the cities that they are like they have their old towns and they are like really cozy.
Which one did you have seen? Like Luzern or Zurich? Let's see.
I stayed in Bern.
Bern, okay.
Yeah. So why Switzerland? The first thing is, why not Sweden? And then the only city that you can work in is like Stockholm and Gothenburg, if you want to work with like investment banking or asset management. But like I don't like the taxes. First of all, they are like super high. Okay. We are like infamous of having very high taxes.
Yeah.
But still, and I want to travel abroad and like see the world. So I don't want to be in Sweden.
Because you will lose a lot of money if you stay there with your investments, probably. Compared to
maybe. Yeah. So Switzerland is like, I think it would be a good economic choice, but still like, I really like the city, and they speak like a lot of languages. So I can learn a few languages.
Yeah, sorry. Connection is bad again. Let's wait for a second.
Oh no.
I'm not sure if it's you, if it's me, but sometimes it sucks, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think it's yours, or not sure as well?
I'm not sure. I usually have quite good connection, but now I haven't been here for 1 week, so maybe something happened.
Maybe just give it a quick check. Just in case, maybe there's something we can do. But I would just hope for the best. Because often it's, a problem of the providers and not yours. So. So it's probably all right for you. Right now it seems quite stable.
Is it?
All right. So another interesting thing, actually, one of the topics you brought up is, actually like proper education about finance before you specialize in it, doing, for example, a bachelor's degree. So let's say high school. And so in which sense, our education is lacking that kind of input?
So can you take the question again?
Yeah, like what important information we're missing out in school about this sector?
Oh yeah. Actually, I've been working as a lecturer in like high schools in Gothenburg. So I've been doing these lectures about personal finance for over 2,000 pupils.
Nice.
So actually, I do have. Oh yeah. Actually, I do have quite a good like insight in this subject.
Okay.
And like how schools teach about like personal finance and like investing and saving. They don't really do that, especially here in Sweden. They have like budget making as like the maximum, but that's like really basic, and you don't like get any insights in like investing and stuff. So the young people in Sweden don't get the education about this, and I think that applies.
Wait a second. Sorry. Can you go back like 5 seconds? And just keep.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, this is gonna mess up.
Oh yeah, but we'll try to cut it like in and like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that like globally, like young people get education about this.
Yeah, I
And
agree with you on that.
it is not. Yeah, it is not like a hard topic, but it is like if you don't know it, then you don't know what to read about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a pity, and that was like the thing that I worked with. That was like the project idea. It's like a political project. Like we want to push this out in the school, in the schools more.
Okay,
but
nice.
So far we actually have one school now that has like a high school direction, which is like stock saving and stuff.
Okay, nice. Like
that's
you
kind of nice too.
Courses there.
Yeah, that's like the organization as a whole, not just me, but we have like somehow succeeded to push this in a little bit. And actually, this is very like appreciated by the teachers, that we come out and like learn their pupils about this. Because normally they don't know it either. Really. They don't have like the knowledge to teach about it.
Okay.
And like if you get the teenagers like this knowledge early in life, they can just make so big changes with like just 1 hour lecture about it.
Yeah, definitely. They'll start making better decisions early on, right? What are like the main problems that drive from the kind of education we're getting right now, lacking that? Like what
I think the question again.
Yeah, what are we missing out? Like how does it hurt us not learning all those basic skills when it comes to finance, personal finance?
Yeah, it really hurts like the middle class and like the lower class.
Yeah.
Because like the upper class, that they usually get that education like in home, because their parents know these things, and like the knowledge. If we don't do it like in school, the knowledge will stay with the upper class.
Yeah, true.
But really, when we do get it in the school curriculum, then we will get the middle class, and like everyone will have the opportunity to invest in stocks, which is the asset class that have provided the best returns. So it is a good thing that we learn about this.
Okay, what are some key topics we should learn at school? Like, give me some bullet points there. Like we should learn about this and this and this.
Yes. So when I was out and lecture about this, we talked about saving, like how can you even get money in the end of the month? And we talked about loans, that you should not take like loans without collateral and like expensive loans. And we hear about which loans avoid, and loans could be good but are not. And like the investing part, and we talked about pensions. So that's kind of the main topics.
Okay.
And if you get those things early in life, you can make a lot of changes.
All right. What would you say is like the number one mistake most people do early in their life?
Yeah, the number one mistake is that they don't save. Even if they have the knowledge, they automatically think that like it's only for the rich, and like I'm just a student, I cannot afford to save anything.
Okay.
I don't have the money left in the end of the month. But like it's so easy, like for many people, especially in Sweden, because it's quite a rich country.
Yes.
Like if you just don't take a few cups of coffee like out, then you have a few money to invest.
Okay.
And that's just, you don't need a lot of money, but like if you have 10 or 20 euros, it's fine. For 1 month, that's a start.
Yeah, it's already a beginning. So how would you invest those 10, 20 euros a month?
Yeah, that's kind of a good question. And many people think that they want to invest in separate stocks, and like they want to do these active decisions. But I would just say like buy an index fund with that money.
Okay,
but
like
because
an ETF?
then you don't need to like. An ETF is just fine.
Okay.
It has like the exposure to the whole, all of the stocks like available. So then you don't need to like know so many things. You can like put in a few dollars in it, like $10, $20 every month, and it's a start. You will get easily exposure to the stock market.
Okay, that's good already. Okay, what are all the tips like people should follow or guidelines?
So the tips is first of all, you should be a little bit like, you shouldn't be like cheap, but you should be a little bit economically thinking. You should not like throw money at things which is not necessary.
For example,
and like, for example, that cup of coffee like at Starbucks. You just don't do that like 2 times a month, and you will have a start.
Don't waste money. Pretty much.
Don't waste money. That's not a good thing. So that's the first thing. And when you do have like a little bit of money, you will start to save this money, and you will see this account growing, and that will be like the next motivation for you. When you see this account growing slowly but surely, it will be, for most people, that they will get motivated by looking at this account.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was another point coming.
I have like, another point.
It's like it reminds me of the principle of the golden goose. You know that one? That lays the golden eggs. Oh wait, the connection is off again. There you go. Do you know that one? The goose that lays golden eggs.
Like, not really. Go ahead and tell me.
Every month, like she lays down a golden egg, right? And it's like this farmer has this one chicken that does it, or goose, and then the principle is always like keep the goose and make profit or out of the laying eggs, and it's a way of installing passive income as well. And wasting money would be killing that goose for a short benefit in time, but with regardless of how the future would look like, because you're not getting those golden eggs anymore because you killed the goose, right?
Yeah, that makes completely sense, and that's kind of the way it is. It's a good simplification, like how it is.
Yeah, just like an analogy. It basically is once you have managed to save up a certain amount of money, which gives you dividends, or it gives you some degree of passive income, whether it's based off an investment of some sort, or maybe it's real estate or any kind of piece of investment. That's what you need to keep. Like if you sell all of that just to buy a fancy car, but after that you don't have anything left, that's not going to benefit you in long term.
No, that's very good that you say this. And that's like the next step.
Okay.
Like when you have quite a lot of money, you will get like you will get these feelings that you
Sorry,
understand it.
wait, sorry.
Like,
can you repeat that?
Yeah. So that's kind of like the nature of human beings. You want these short-term emotions that when you spend, you will get like a sense of a victory.
Yeah.
And you don't like think for the long term.
Yeah.
But that's the next step. Like if you do have this money, how can you be so self-disciplined and not remove this from your account?
Yeah, right. It seems illogical.
Yeah. And that's very hard. And you know, it's up to every human being that it's a decision that you make every day. If you have this account with a lot of money, you have to like not remove and
Sorry, quick break here again. I feel like it's probably me. It's me, not you. It's me. Oh Jesus. No, but
it could be me as well.
Sorry. I hope you're not mad at me, but I'll ask you to repeat.
No.
The last few sentences you said. I didn't hear you.
Like when you have this big account of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing is when you have like an account with large amounts of money,
let's say
you will be like what?
Let's say like let's put some numbers down.
Yeah, for example, you have 50,000 euros.
Okay, which is already quite a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. Let's say you have this amount of money.
Okay.
You will have like the options to like buy a nice car. You can buy a Porsche, Jaguar with that money.
Yeah.
But like the thing is that if you do this, then all the future gains from investing will be like removed from you.
Yeah, your investing power, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that will give you the good result in the end. It's a compounding interest. So if you remove money from your account, you will not receive.
Sorry, it just blocked for the last few seconds. Didn't hear the ending.
Yeah.
Like if you remove it.
Yeah, if you remove the money, you will not receive the compound interest. And like, if you save for a very long time, then the part that you actually have worked for and saved this money, that will shrink. That percentage will shrink because the returns that you provide will take a bigger part. So
yeah, all right. You just said the word compound interest. What does that mean? Maybe you mind explain that real quick?
Oh yeah. So for example, if you say like I don't have like the numbers in my head, but like if you save $100 every month for like 20 years with 8% return, which is like the stock market average.
Okay.
Then most people think that you will have like maybe like 20,000, or they will think about like $100 every month for 20 years, but they will underestimate the effects of the returns.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of these years, you will receive returns on the money, but you will still reinvest the returns.
Yes.
So for an example, if you have $100,
yeah,
and you receive a 10% return, then you will have $110. And if you receive another 10%, I'm doing years now, so not
okay.
monthly savings, just $100.
Sure.
So you have 100, you get 10%, then you will have $110. If you receive another 10%, then you will have $121. So the first return dollars, year one will be $10, and in year two you will have $11.
Yeah.
So, but you still haven't you haven't put any money in it. You just let the money work.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps feeding itself, and normally the return percentage sort of stays the same.
You will receive.
Right. So that's what you mean with compound returns of investment. So in a sense, like it keeps refeeding itself over and over.
Exactly. And you don't really have to do much at all. If you just let your money sit and you get the returns, but you don't remove the returns, you let the money stay in the account, then you will receive more and more returns.
Yeah. Only by investing €100 once.
Yes.
That's already much better than comparing it to just putting it in a bank account, where you often have almost no interest, or sometimes even negative interest, where you have to pay to do that. Right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. If you don't have the education about saving in stocks, then most people will actually put this money into a non-interest bearing account.
Yeah.
So you will not receive anything.
Yeah.
But if you do invest it, then it just sits there. And in real terms, you will lose quite a lot of money because with the inflation.
Yeah.
So for example, if you have $100 today, and if you had it 30 years ago, which time will you be able to buy the most amount of things?
Yeah. No, 30 years ago because of inflation.
Yeah, exactly. So that will buy you 3 times as much things.
Yeah. And as I said, that's only assuming you invest €100 once. Normally what you do is you have an investment plan, which means you are regularly putting money in on a constant basis, like every month or every year, right? So that growth is faster. Yeah.
So if you do have that routine, like the investment plan set up, it's quite easy to follow, because you will in your consumption budget, you will not think about this money that you have to invest, because that's already set up. You don't see that as money disposable.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, that you have an investment plan and you do save very regularly every month or something.
Okay. So what's the best move for, let's say, someone that is earning about basic income, let's say €1,000 a month. All right. Without removing taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you effectively getting even less, right? You're getting, I don't know, €700-800 max like netto, right? And assuming like half of your income goes to rent, and you have left for everything else but rent for 1 month, and it's, let's say, $400. How would you organize that money?
So that's quite a hard topic, because everybody, they are not able to save. You know, if you have a very low income, the first problem is not to save for the future. The first problem is to survive, like,
okay,
good every day, you know.
Yeah, which is
to have a shelter over your head. So, but yeah, it is. But with that money, in your example, then I definitely see that, depending on like if you have children or stuff like that, I see that you should be able to save at least something. Like go on sales when you buy food and clothing. Try to be a little bit smart and don't like be eating out as much. So just try to save, you know, try to save something.
Yeah.
Just get started. Don't try to save with that income. Don't try to save like $200, because that would not be possible in most cases. And like you will be discouraged when you're not able to do it.
Okay.
So just try to do something and be smart with your money.
Okay. So
that's maybe easier said than done, but like try to find your ways to save money and like just get started.
Yeah, I see you. So I like how the idea is it's more important to get started rather than investing a lot from the very beginning, because it's a long-term game, and it's always when you do any sort of investment plan, it's always projected within 5 to 10 to 15 years at least, right? And
you should not invest in stocks like if you have a few years, like 2 years.
That's
the stock
too short.
is too risky.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So like the thing with the stock market is that you can lose half of your money quite easily. And it does happen like on a regular basis. And like if you invest money that you really need like in 2 years, then you're taking too much risk.
Yeah.
But like if you have 5 or 10 years, then even if the stock market is down 50% and you lose half of your money, then you have time to recover.
Yeah.
So the lowest like time frame is 5 to 10 years.
Okay. Oh, I like that. And your bet for someone that's starting out and doesn't have the knowledge as well to make personally do all the moves, to just make some kind of plan where you just put some money in regularly and then forget about it. What would you say? What's the best bet right now? What's the safest, less risky bet for someone in Europe?
So the thing with the thing with risk is your time frame, and also like your psychology and like how your economy as a whole looks like. If you have like you have your house fully paid, no more mortgage, and you don't have like you have a lot of money over every month, then you could be able to take higher risks with your money. So
for example,
that's a lot depending on like your situation. But for example, if you don't have your house mortgage free, you do have like a regular income, and you have a 10 years plus time frame, then you should be investing in the stock market. And I think that like a global index fund it is yes,
Both.
that's a good start, and then you should be able to get going with that, and you can read as long as you go, and like try to find the different parts that you think is more a better investment, and not just like a global ETF. For example, if you go with small cap companies or like emerging countries, but that's a thing you need to do a little bit later when you know what you're investing in. That's very important, because if you do invest in like small cap stocks, and you are not informed about what you're investing in, for example, if you lose a lot of money at that time, then you will be like, you will adjust your investment strategy and like sell at the bottom instead, because you haven't understood what you invest in. And that's like the key thing, because if you do invest in things that you do understand, and you think that it's a good strategy that you have, you will be more convinced, even if you lose a lot of money at a short time.
Yeah, so you're not so scared.
You will be able to, you will be able to sit in the boat, or what you say. Like when the boat is shaking, you are sitting.
Okay, I see. I think I feel like fear is quite an important word when it comes to analyzing why most people actually don't invest the money.
Yeah, so the thing is that like the most talked about topic about stocks is that they are risky, and that you shouldn't do it because you can lose a lot of money. But like if you invest, for example, in your savings account, if you do know that you have 20 years and you save it with no interest, then you are guaranteed to lose money with inflation.
Yeah.
But like in stocks, if you have 20 years, then you can gain money, and you are not guaranteed to lose money.
Yeah.
But the thing with fear is that nobody want to lose his money, and that's why they don't invest, because they don't want to lose what they have worked for.
Yeah. Probably the lack of knowledge that kind of stops them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is that like if you invest in the long term, the stock market has never, on average, like lost money if you invest in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah,
it's very, very rare that you lose money in the stock market in the long term. If you don't do like specific bets on specific stocks, and those specific stocks is like underperforming and going bankrupt. That's another thing. But like the stock market on average, it is fine in the long run.
I think another like for those who are more keen to invest and want to optimize their portfolio, I've learned in the last years that diversification is key to that.
Yeah, it is, because like if you do just invest in stocks, you have this like you have the risk of losing a lot of money in the stock market crashes, and a little bit of your portfolio allocated to, for example, like money. You have the non-interest bearing things. That could be good to have like 5% with just having money and not going 100% stocks.
Yeah.
Because I think that most people is like overestimating their risk tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
That they think that if the stock market is down a lot, you could just sit and chill because you know that it will go up in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that most people don't do that when they have lost quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
That they may be adjusting their strategy and like try to recover their losses.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing to do is to be diversified, like in the beginning, and like maybe invest. For example, I like gold. Investing in gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing because normally when stocks goes down, like there is a crisis in the stock market, then people are running with their money to gold.
Yeah.
And they are buying gold, which means that the prices of gold is running up.
Yeah, it's rising.
In the short term. That's in the crisis. Okay. And if you have a little bit of gold already before the crisis, then you will have an asset class in your portfolio that is going up slightly.
I mean, precious metals.
But there are plenty of like
is something I'm not wrapping my head around too well. So, like you just said, the benefits it can have, but apart from having something physical like that in times of crisis, what's another good reason you might want to invest in precious metals?
So the thing with precious metals is that like gold, it has been used for like monetary purposes for thousands of years. We have been trading with gold like for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with gold is that it is keeping its value, but it is not like intended to be like a high performing asset class.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with gold is that it should keep its value.
Yeah.
And like if you do invest 100% in gold, you will most likely underperform like if you invest in like 30 years time.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be investing in gold just purely for like getting returns. You should do it as a complement to a stock portfolio.
Okay.
Because of the diversification benefits.
Oh, because okay, all right. So it's very low risk.
It could be, gold is quoted in fiat money, so it is quoted in euros, it is quoted in dollars.
Yeah.
And the demand for gold is shifting, and also the supply. Mm-hmm. Which means that the price of gold is also shifting quite a lot.
Okay. So
but the thing is that it is quite uncorrelated with the stock market.
Yeah.
So you don't want two asset classes that are perfectly correlated with each other in price. Mm-hmm. Like for example, if you buy a Swedish index fund, you just buy the Swedish stocks, and you buy a German index fund with German stocks, then you are not really, they are quite highly correlated in the short term.
Yeah.
So if there will be a stock market, then these two funds will go down quite a lot, both of them. But the thing with like precious metals as silver or gold is that you don't have this because people will run into gold and silver as well.
Okay.
So that's the diversification benefits.
Yeah, I see. So right now, what are the sectors you're investing in? So you said you're investing in precious metals, and you also are investing in the stock market.
Yep. Yes. I actually done my bachelor thesis on this subject, like how gold is performing in a stock portfolio.
Yes.
And we actually found that 5.68% gold is like the optimal part to be allocated to gold, because and that's also a 50-year period. So that's from 1971 on the American Stock Exchange.
Mm.
So if you had 5.68% gold in 1971 and you invested until today, then that portfolio would be the one with highest risk-adjusted returns.
Okay.
So that's not just like absolute return, but that's also like how you have returns in relation to how much your portfolio is fluctuating in value. So you don't want fluctuations in value. That's a thing you want to avoid as investors. You want this to be as linearly as possible.
Yeah.
You don't want volatility.
Yeah. You want steady growth.
Like the optimal scenario is that you have, steady growth. That's a key word. And you don't want like the volatility.
Yeah.
And if you had 5.68% gold in an American S&P 500 index fund, then you would have received the best risk-adjusted returns.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A question that I've asked myself back in the days was, can literally anyone just participate in stocks or index funds? Or are there some requirements that you need to do that?
Yeah, so the requirements pretty much to invest in an index fund is just have an account, and of course then you should also be like the banks that keep your account is also like responsible to keep a check on you that you are not like laundering money and stuff. So that's kind of the requirement, that you should be able to have your account. And some countries may have other laws, but that's most likely not a problem.
Okay,
if you have your account, you can start trading.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. So is there any age restriction as well? I'm not sure about that. It need to be at least 18 or something.
Yeah, it is 18.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Right. In Sweden, it's quite normal. Like if you have small amounts, you can go to your parents and get an account set up in their name and just try to get started a little bit. But that's of course not like, it's very individual how your relation is to your parents.
Okay, I see you. Like already, the path we've taken throughout this episode. Like we've talked pretty much about everything we planned already. We've talked about you and your path and how you ended up in finance. We've talked about tips on, especially for beginners, on how they get started, about education, how the lack of basic knowledge within the field from an early age on, like let's say high school, that really throws us back and oftentimes makes us start learning about investment and finance very late on our own, once we start realizing how important that is, which is often in our 20s. And that's already, it's not too late, but it gives us a worse start, that's for sure, compared to if you go ready for it when you're 19, 20. And we've talked about the different types of assets you can go for. Let's say it's stocks, let's say index funds, we got precious metals. There's also real estate. We haven't talked about that because it's not your specialty, but that's another very interesting field. that, I'm personally, for example, quite interested in. And they all are very
Really?
Generally.
I didn't know that. Nice.
What? Did you say that again?
It was very delayed, the audio. Sorry.
Oh, it's delayed. Yeah.
I didn't know you were into property.
Yeah, I'm interested in.
Very delayed. It's
yet,
like
but,
4 seconds.
I'm planning on doing that. The thing is, it's a whole nother world, and there's so much to learn about that, and it's so much harder to start there. You need such a higher capital right away to get even started. So it's not an easy move in. I feel like it's really hard to start there, but once you're in, I feel like you get rolling pretty well. But I'm getting there. So yeah, we did quite well run there. You gave us a few, tips and some practical ones as well on how you would start investing with a very low budget. One of the key tips I take away from this today is start investing rather than, getting away from the idea that you need to move in a lot of money right away. And it's rather about being steady and having a continuous investment, even if it's small, as it will grow exponentially over time. Let's say you start investing at 18. Once you're 30, you've been investing 12 years, already. In that time, you will have learned so much. You might have started with, let's say, 10 euros a month, but after 2-3 years, you get a job or you finish your degree and you start earning way more money, and you bump that up to 50 to 100 a month, and you start growing like that, right? So I do find all these aspects we have talked about very useful. And I think people need to hear this more and more. They don't have to do this, but they definitely should take it into consideration and give it a thought. I'm not sure investing is for everyone. I'm sure it isn't. Not everyone has patience or the dedication or even the interest in learning that and spending time. But I feel like most people would benefit from it and actually wouldn't mind going down that path if they knew all the different aspects that brings that to their life, different benefits it has.
Yeah, and it's not just like the end result that is the most important thing. Like if you're saving for your pension, it's not just the pension itself that is important. It is also like if you have a job that you are not satisfied with, you're really not liking it, then you do have the ability to find another job and like be unemployed for a few months. The ability to do these things are like, I would say, like the most important things, because you will feel a freedom in yourself.
Yeah, it makes you financially more independent, and not you. If you have that kind of saying that sort of passive income, you are not relying as much on your regular income you get from your job, let's say, right? So yeah, it's like you're not sitting on the street once they fire you, right? And so it gives you this room, and if you're doing it for a long time, and you let's say you fire or you get fired, you can give yourself a few months, half a year to look around, maybe change, shift, whatever, start your own business, invest in your business, through all the investments you have. So that money can work for you so much in so many different ways. Wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I definitely think that like if you have the ability to save and stuff, you definitely should. Like even though in your situation right now, you may be
sorry.
You may
Could
be
you repeat
comfortable
that?
and you may stuff.
Sorry, Andreas. Would
Everything.
you mind
Yep.
repeating that for a second? Yeah, like I didn't hear you.
So yeah. So the thing is that you can be comfortable with the situation today, even though you are like satisfied with your job, you have quite a good income,
Yes.
and everything is fine today. Then you should not take that for granted for the future as well.
Yeah.
Because things can happen. You can get a new boss. Your company can be bought by another company, and you get like all your work is like changed, and then you might not be happy with that situation, and you may want to fire yourself.
Yeah, but not only that, but also maybe your spendings can increase any moment. Let's say you find, I don't know, you're single, right? And you find a girlfriend. Boom, that's a lot.
No, I'm not. I have a girlfriend.
Or you want to get married, or maybe your girlfriend gets pregnant. You're gonna start a family, or you want to go for a bigger house, and 1,000 things. You can have an accident, and then you lose your job because of that, and you have a lot of bills to pay for the hospital. So there are a lot of things that can happen, and it's a way of preparing yourself for any kind of scenario that might happen to you.
Exactly. And like, it is not a burden to have a savings account. You will not be, you will not think that it's a bad thing when you have it.
Yeah, I see.
Definitely not. So you just get started, and even if you are comfortable with your situation, you should do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate that. I would love to, well, we're getting towards the end of the episode, and before we end it, I would love you to share with the listeners some places, some social media links, some website you would like to share with them, where they can maybe check out something they should read, maybe something they should watch, or maybe where can find you, ask you questions if they might have some.
Yeah, so for like on English, I would say like the most basic things, and like the most like wisdom things you can have is like go watch Warren Buffett on
Warren
YouTube.
Buffett, okay,
and he will explain like every basic things and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You mean like one of his books?
It's not a bad thing. So yeah, you can read like there is like books written about him, but there's also like he's done a lot of like interviews and speeches. So he explains like how you can start investing and what mentality you should have. So that would be a first step. And then I would say like go and read like something else that doesn't just tell you to buy an index fund. Go and read like how you can find specific stocks maybe, and that will like spur your interest more than just having an account.
Okay.
So start with Warren Buffett.
Okay. For those of you, well, I mean, he's very famous, but for those of you who don't know Warren Buffett, like one of the most well-known investors in the US, that's ever lived. So you should check them out.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the like wealthiest person on earth, right? I don't know if it's like top 5 or something like that.
I think Jeff Bezos is to top 5 he is, but he's not the richest person. But
yeah, Jeff Bezos is one like first, but like he's right there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good merit to have.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and then Warren Buffett or something like that. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
He's right up there. How about your personal? How can people reach out to you if they want to ask you about finance question?
Yeah, I'm quite open. So like, write to me on Facebook, or you can email me, whatever.
Okay, great. How do they find you? Just Andreas Blidberg or?
Andreas Blidberg, and they should be able to find me like on Facebook or.
Okay, on Facebook. Great.
I don't have Instagram, so not Instagram.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I sadly realized that too.
Yeah. or LinkedIn as well. That's just fine.
Okay, nice. I'll definitely link everything up on the episode itself and all social posts I do. There you'll be able to find his Facebook account, his LinkedIn account and email, so you can feel free to reach out to him and get your questions solved. Before we end this, I want to ask you what creativity as the creative cast is all about creativity and how that translates for everyone. What does creativity mean to you and how do you apply it?
Well, for me, creativity was like the first thing when I like changed this high school subject to economics. That was the first step for me with creativity, and like try to think out of the box. Okay. But also like in finance in future, it's definitely a lot of creativity needed with like, because in finance you cannot just invest in things that already has been like hyped on, like Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. It's not very creative of me to invest in Bitcoin right now because it's already so hyped. If I found it 5 years ago, that would be quite creative investment. But
yeah,
I'm not saying
like
Bitcoin is a bad investment or anything, but yeah, but you should think out of the box. Like that's creativity.
Okay. So seeing new ways of doing things, new forms of investment, and being ahead of the game in a way.
Yeah, and also like searching for jobs abroad and not just look at Sweden. For me, that's it's quite a creative move to look outside the borders, and I think more should definitely do that if they have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like your way of understanding this concept. I do to a certain level share that understanding with you. Like for me, it's sort of there. It's getting out of your comfort zone, which I like to call it like that, but it's the same thing. And it's just sometimes being a bit ballsy and going just being brave in a way. Don't be ruled by your fears.
Yeah, that's important.
Just do what you really want to do, right? Cool. I appreciate that a lot. Is there any last thought, idea, concept, story you might want to share with us that we haven't talked about that would give this a nice finish?
Well, the thing is that you should try to, for the listeners, you should really try to like challenge yourself and like finish things, and you will get into like positive spiral. Because if you do things and you do succeed with it, you will boost your like self-confidence, And that's a good thing because you will do more things with higher self-confidence. So try to like get things done and like do things out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
That's a takeaway I want to put.
Okay, nice. I appreciate your words. I'm really thankful to have had you here today. Thank you for your time and being brave to be part of this show. I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's not my mother tongue, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I really appreciate your. Yeah, you've been a great interviewer, and I really appreciate you having me on your show.
Yeah, it was definitely a pleasure. I had a blast talking with you. I'm happy we managed to survive the cuts and breaks from the internet, but we still managed to do this. Again, thank you so much. I hope to see you soon again. Hopefully in person. I wish you all the best of luck with your masters if you happen to get in and to do it. I'll hear more from you soon. I'm very sure about it. I'm Lucas, and this was a Creative Cast.